Well, US markets are set to close lower today after poor export data from China has reignited concerns around growth in the world's second largest economy. Now we're joined by Jason Weisberg of Seaport Securities. Jason, we saw the iron ore price nosedive to its lowest level in around 18 months today. Mining and material stocks were sold off. Now those sectors are obviously very important for equity markets like Australia, but how significant are they for US markets in terms of sentiment?
Well, I mean, they play a role. The commodities market is, interactive with the equity market. And if money is coming into commodities or coming out of commodities, there's usually a counter effect in the equity market. Whether it's with direct stocks, like the energy stocks, or mining stocks. It has an effect, and I think that it doesn't play a huge role in the marketplace, but it does play a role.
Okay. Now, the windback of QE is obviously affecting many emerging markets. To what extent is it a factor for China? Is it more about problems within the Chinese economy than the windback of QE?
Well, I think that the QE might have a much bigger impact for them because they're such large holders of U.S. paper. They probably own more U.S. paper than U.S. investors. That being said, I think that it's already built into our equity market here, and I think that the Chinese are probably pretty prepared. They get the same headlines that we do, and I think that they're probably very prepared as to what's coming down the road.
Okay. And finally, last week it was the Ukraine shifting sentiment. This week so far it's China. Do you think that we've moved back to a risk-on, risk-off scenario for markets?
No, I think that it's risk on here, and I don't think it's the market's going to take a healthy pause. I think that's what we're seeing now. That being said, I still think the Ukraine is still on the investment community's mind. Not as much, but it's still there. It is present, and I think with the missing Malaysia Airlines flight, I think that. Although there were no American citizens, I think there's a deep concern, a security issue, quite frankly, that even though it's a remote possibility, the fact that it might be a terrorist-related event, because there are no answers and the market doesn't like uncertainty, people are uncomfortable with that, and it doesn't take a lot to spook investors in today's environment.
Okay, thank you, Jason. It was Jason Weisberg of Seaport Securities, and I'm Jane Searle for The Street.